Hey everyone, today I want to talk about the parallelisms between poker and Netrunner. So I'll be doing a very short video today. Firstly, they are both card games. I hope you've gained some knowledge from this video. In the meantime, thanks for watching and happy net running. I'll see you around. Okay. Fine. I guess I'm not gonna get away with just that, huh? Okay. Um, I want to bring the analogy between poker and Netrunner out here because I think that they share quite a bit of similarities. I do personally watch quite a bit of competitive poker myself. The World Series of Poker main event final table took place while I was at Worlds, and I'm now trying to catch up on it. So no spoilers, please. But anyway, I think the first thing that comes to mind to everyone when we say that poker and Netrunner have things in common is that they both emphasize the bluffing aspect of the game. And I guess I'll talk about that a bit in one of my upcoming commentary videos. But for this particular video, I want to stress on the other aspect of similarity, which is the statistics behind probability. The or should I say the probabilities inherent in a card game. So one of the important things that you can do in poker is counting your odds, and this is something I'll try to explain, even if you're not very familiar with poker as a game. In the game of poker, you are expected to make the best 5 card hand possible using the 5 communal cards on the board and the 2 cards that you're secretly dealt. In this graphic, player A has the cards Ace-6, player B has the cards Ace-9. Both of them have a pair. Player A has a 6 pair, player B has a 9 pair, which is higher than a 6 pair and is therefore a better hand. With 4 communal cards dealt, there is 1 communal card left to go. So we ask ourselves, what are the chances of player A winning this hand given an even distribution of the cards remaining in the deck? That means the final communal card can be any other card left in the deck. What's the chance of player A winning? Well, to calculate this, you need to know the number of outs player A has. In this case, if you know the game of poker, you realize that the only outs that player A has are to find a 6, such that they'll make a 3 of a kind 6 to beat the 9 pair of player B. So the chances of actually making this 3 of a kind are not very high. The number of outs, which is defined as the number of cards left in the deck that can help player A, is 2. He only has the 6 of hearts and the 6 of spades to make the 3 of a kind. So in a deck of 44 remaining cards with only 2 outs, clearly these are not very good odds at all. But wait, it's about to get worse. What if I told you there was a third player, player C, involved in this match, and that player C was dealt 2 cards, one of which is a 6 of spades? Now, how many outs does player A have left? He has 1 less out, so there's only 1 out left in the deck. The number of outs they have left just halved. The chances of winning halved, and basically almost impossible to win the hand thereafter. So when you're counting the number of outs, it's important to keep track of blockers, they call that in poker, which is basically the cards that you're drawing to that are being held by other players as well. So can you see the analogy I'm trying to make to Netrunner here? Well, let's put this in context with my sync deck, Theory Info. Above you see the agenda suite that for my sync deck, and I'm placing counters on the agenda suite. Blue counters signify agendas scored by the corp, red counters signify agendas stolen by the runner. The current score is 4-6 in the runner's favor, but the runner is tagged. So the runner is attempting an R&D run right here. As the corp, can you count the number of outs the runner has? Pause the video if you need more time. I'll review the answer shortly. There are 2 outs for the runner. You discount the quantum predictive models because the kitties aren't going anywhere unless they have a film critic. Let's assume they don't. So really, the only way the corp's going to win is if they steal a breaking news or global food. Now what if the runner makes an R&D run and you're holding the global food in your HQ? Suddenly, just as with the poker analogy, the number of outs in R&D has halved. There are much fewer agendas left in R&D, and at this point, knowing that there's only 1 out that the runner has in your entire deck of, say, 12 cards, you can actually feel pretty safe of for the runner to make a single or even double access. The chances of you losing off the access is very slim. Much lower than if they were to run HQ normally anyway. This is applicable not just to my sync deck, but to any deck you play, for that matter. You need to be able to count the number of outs in your deck and figure out which server is the most at risk for the runner to win and adjust your play accordingly. While most of us don't have supercomputers to compute the probability of the runner winning off a single access on the fly, counting the number of outs gives you a very good gauge or estimate of the chances of you making it to the next turn and the turn after and so on. For example, if the runner is trying to dig through your deck and is with a medium and is going to see half of your deck, if there's only one out in your deck for the runner to win, the chances of them winning on the dig is 1 in 2, 1/2. Either they access the half that has your winning breaking news or they don't. If your deck has twice the number of outs, the chances of winning dramatically increases. So this is just an example of how you can guesstimate on the fly to evaluate your board state and make decisions accordingly. This is how poker players leverage probabilities to decide the amount of money they'll bet or whether they'll fold after certain cards are dealt, and the same can be said for Netrunner. For my sync deck in particular, it is especially important to keep track of genders. Not only because you will have to trust your R&D to be not leaky most of the time, but more importantly because of the interaction between kitties, global foods, and exchange of information. You need to be able to identify the server that the runner is most likely to run and then channel all your kitties to that server while removing as many stealable agendas from the server as possible. As such, for my sync games, you are going to see this header bar where I keep track of agendas that are scored and stolen throughout the game. And on that note, we'll have our first commentary game up published tomorrow. Look out for that. Thanks for watching and tune in. See you around.